What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone out there is having an awesome day. Dayton here, aka Dr. Autoflower, and we're back with another video and just wanted to do a channel update and get into some question and answers. And before we get into that, I want to give you guys a huge thank you and a big shout out. We just hit 75,000 subscribers. Big milestone for the channel. I'm super pumped and definitely looking forward to hitting that 100,000. I know we'll probably never get the actual play button, but it's really awesome to see that we are getting close. It could happen the next year. We'll see, depending on how we do in this channel. Big thank you to everyone who's smashing that like button on the videos. Really helps. Leaving comments really helps. And if you can do that for this video, I would greatly appreciate it. So let's get into channel news and updates. The last while, we've been pretty damn busy. If you haven't noticed, the channel's a little bit slowed down because I have a new job. My wife's got a new job too, and we are super busy lately. Opportunities came up and we got awesome new jobs, and we are just going with it right now. As you can kind of see in the economy right now, it's kind of getting a little wild out there, so we were having plans to take off to Thailand, but since the economy is going to be slowing down, it seems like a lot pretty soon, I think it's probably a smart idea to chill a little bit, postpone the Thailand, save up some money before we do any of that. But that's definitely still in the books for happening. We are really looking forward to getting over there. So right now we're just putting our heads down and working through the winter, making a bunch of money, saving up. I'm working night shifts and it's like 11 to 7:30, and it's absolutely brutal on like creativity and stuff like that, so that is definitely taking a hit. I am trying to find like a balance, a happy medium where I can make content. I have been working on some side projects that I'm going to be releasing here right away after this, so check that out tomorrow after this video. And that's pretty much the big projects I had for the summer. That'll be all wrapped up, so I'm pretty pumped to have that all wrapped up. And on the canna front, I do want to start growing here right away. I'm kind of getting the itch to get back in the garden, get something growing again, get my own supply going again. I have been buying for a little while. It is nice to like try what's on the market right now, what's like hot, what's the really good flavors and stuff. But I do kind of want to like get into growing my own again, because I know I can grow top shelf quads, and it's a lot cheaper than buying. So right now I'm looking for new sponsors, so once we got that all wrapped up, we will probably get started growing here right away with a new season. And yeah, it was nice taking a little break, but after a while you kind of want to get back into it because you do miss the whole aspect of growing and like growing your own and knowing exactly what you're going to be smoking and know what nutrients you're given, know how it's being cured and cut down and all that kind of stuff. It's just a little bit better peace of mind. So yeah, that's the update on the channel. We are moving towards the 100,000 subscribers, super pumped on that. And I think 2023 is going to be a good year. Hopefully I'm not on the graveyard shift too long, so I can get into the more daytime work, so I can have more creativity time. So like right now I work all night, come home, grab my wife, take her to work, come back home, and then I shower, smoke up, and sleep, go get my wife, have a nap, go to work, over and over again. So I'm kind of in zombie mode, but trying to work through it. So that's the update, what's going on with me and the channel. So let's get right into question and answers. Kiss420 Grow asks, how do you feel about transplanting autos? I like to transplant and use some great white on the roots. What's your opinion? My opinion is when you do transfer autoflowers indoors, it seems like it is easy to stunt them, but if you do it very carefully and you do it before they get too big, there's a certain time limit. I think it's around like 1 week or so, or some people do 2 weeks, I think, where if you're super gentle, it doesn't really affect them at all, because the roots haven't like taken up the whole pot that they're using. They're still kind of small and the root won't be disturbed, which is good. But I don't normally do that because I've seen you just get better results when you plant straight into a pot. for my techniques anyways. But I've seen people do that too, where they transplanted and had awesome grows. I think it kind of depends on how you do it and what stage of growth the plant's in, or if you're disturbing the root or not. I don't do it indoors, but outdoors I definitely would do that, because it seems like autoflowers do a bit better when you plant them when they're about a week old, when they actually have a bit of growth. When I planted autoflowers outside, the ones I planted just germinated seeds straight in the ground, they seemed to be a bit more stunted and had a harder time to take off compared to the ones I started with LEDs. Those just took right off, did amazingly. Transplanting didn't seem to have any really effect to them, because it seemed like when I planted outdoors, they were on their own schedule. They didn't follow the regular autoflower schedule where, you know, it's done in 65 days, done in 70 days. They just kept going and going and kept growing larger and larger. But nonetheless, I transplanted those ones, did awesome, and outdoors I would always transplant it. Just start them in LEDs, transplant them after a week or so, you're going to be good. So SVR Grow Room UK asks, he's talking about 43% humidity. I'm in cold area. Is this good? So I think he's referring to one of my episodes where I'm talking about humidity. For 43 humidity in a cold area, I think you're completely fine. As long as your temperatures aren't dropping when the lights are off. You don't want it dropping past 10 Celsius. If it's dropping past 10 Celsius, you could see some weird things happening with that humidity. But 43 is, like, I would say you're totally fine. You shouldn't really see any molds or mildews or anything like that. It's when you start getting over like 55%, then you start seeing that kind of stuff. Jack McKellar asks, how many times per week should I feed? And he's referring to my How to Feed Autoflowers guide. If you guys want to check that out, that's really good. Easy to follow autoflower feeding guide with advanced nutrients. He's asking how many times per week. I don't go by how many times a week or whatever. It's when the plant is needing water, when they're thirsty, when they need to be watered, that's when you feed. Because I feed every single watering, and the nutrient guide I have there, it's made for watering and feeding every time, because you're giving a much lower dose than what is recommended. Chris P. Bacon asks, do I leave my LED lights off until my autoflowers break soil and pop? I would say no, but you want to keep the top of your soil moist. So that's really important. You do not want it to dry out. And I have had that happen before, where I let my lights on sometimes like too hot, because like maybe I'm trying to warm up the room a little bit. But if you let the top of the soil dry out, it could fry the seed. And if the root doesn't go down far enough, by the time it dries out on top, it could just kill the seed right off. So that it is something you have to watch for, and I have had that happen myself. And that's why I usually miss the top of the soil, or just like give small amounts around the seeds, just so it doesn't, you know, dry up and die. Because I don't plant my seeds far down, I place them like very, very close to the top, so they have an easier way to break through to the top, through the soil. But that also means it's easier to dry out and die if you let it fry. So that is the one thing. I would turn your lights down. If you're not worrying about like keeping the heat up in your room, I would just turn the lights down, so it's not like overwhelming. So Daniel Courtney says, I'm on my first grow and just chopped it down. Do the buds get denser after they dry? The trichomes were mostly cloudy, but they felt fluffy and not dense. They also smelt great and sticky. I'm on day 4 drying. They are autos. So it definitely sounds like something's off. It should be nice, you know, thick, dense buds if you're doing a proper good job. The first thing I would probably look into is your lighting. Are you using proper lights? Are you using really cheap Amazon lights? Also, what nutrients are you giving it? Are you giving proper nutrients? Because something's off. I would say check your par. See how much you're giving your plants. Are you giving them enough par? Are you giving too little par? Because if you're giving too little par and not proper spectrums, they can develop fluffy, undeveloped buds like that. You could have possibly harvested early and you just didn't realize, and you just going by trichomes, and maybe you should have waited a bit longer without having more information on your grow, how long it grew, what genetics it was, how long is it supposed to grow for. Without that, I can't really tell you what exactly went wrong, but I would say it's one of those factors. But I would say on your next grow, you should, like, before you chop down, feel your buds. Go in there, squish it a little. If it feels fluffy, then it's going to be fluffy when you cut it down. It should feel dense when you're squeezing it when it's growing. It should feel dense when it's done and compact. If it's not, then something's up and something's off. But I think that's it for this question and answers. Big thank you to everyone who sent questions. If you got any questions yourself, make sure you leave it in the comment section down below. We'll get to them in the next question and answer. Big thank you to everyone who smashes the like button. Stay tuned tomorrow. I've got another video coming out. Actually, a couple videos coming out right away, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, guys, peace out. Catch you guys later.